Hi guys, today I have a lot of different things that we're going to be trying out. Now, originally when I sat down to film this, I was like, I'm just going to do a video on the new Lethal Multichromes and that's going to be it. And then I was kind of looking in my little box that I gather up my new things and I'm like, you know what? I have more things that we can try out, so I thought we could just do like a little trying on new makeup video. So let me go ahead and show you the things that we're going to be playing with. So first of all, like I said, I did get a package from Lethal Cosmetics and they have come out with 6 new multichrome eyeshadows as well as some face products. They did ask me what I wanted in PR and I said I wanted all of the eyeshadows, so I have all 6 here. I still haven't unwrapped them because they also sent me a new 6-pan palette, and once I put these in here, I'm not going to be able to know the names of these. So we're going to do some live swatches after, and then I can put them into the palette. They also sent me 2 of their blushes. They're coming out with like shimmery blushes, and I think they had either 4 or 6, but I picked out the colors that I thought that I would use. So I have like an orange and a red. And I just thought that those could be really fun together. So we're going to try out those as well. I also got a package from Urban Decay, and you probably know what I'm about to say, but if you followed like Instagram and stuff, you know that they've come out with 3 little mini palettes. Maybe it was 4. And I got an email from them being like, hey, would you like to opt in on our PR for our upcoming product? And I was like, sure, why not? Like you never know what it is that they're coming out with when they send you an email. They only said that it was part of the naked range, which did make me kind of go, I don't know if I'm going to use this, but like, sure, why not? Let's try it out. So they sent me this one, and this is the Urban Decay Naked Foxy palette. So I will take this out so I can show it to you. It's a very, very neutral palette. This is not something that I'm going to ever be reaching for outside of this video, but I still thought that I could, you know, test out the quality and just see what it's like. So the palette itself is actually really, really cute. I love the packaging on this. It feels really nice and sturdy. And then the inside of the palette, let's see if I can get this open, is, like I said, very neutral. So I just want to use some of the mattes in here together with the multichromes, because I figure if I'm going to be using multichromes, like they will be the star of the show. So I can just like throw some of these in a crease and just kind of see what the quality is like. Let me give the shimmers a bit of a swatch here so we can see they feel very, very non-existent, very dry, subpar, not my thing. But maybe the mattes are going to be better. So there are 3 mattes in here that feels very nice and smooth. So these look really nice. I'm actually kind of excited to be using these 2 because I feel like they'll be a good kind of canvas to work with the multichromes. I also got a package from Ofra, and they have come out with, let's see, these are kind of plumping lip glosses. Now I do have a lipstick on, but I thought that I could pop this one maybe just over the top of what I already have on, just so we can test that out as well. If you're wondering what's on my lips, I use the Half Magic sort of dual-ended lip liner, and I use the lightest shade, and then on top I use the Glamlight and Frosted Flakes lipstick because I just thought it would be a good match, and I actually really like this color. I think it's quite nice, and the formula is nice as well. Now let's go ahead and do some swatches. Now before I do that though, I will say that it is Monday when I'm filming this, and I'm guessing that Millie is going to have her video up on the Lethal Shadows probably today for her Multichrome Monday, so I will link her channel down below. She's going to be able to do way better swatches than I ever will, and if you're really wondering about like comparison swatches to whatever else they have come out with, and just comparisons in general to other Multichromes, her channel is the place to be because, like I said, she's way better at this than I ever will be. So just going to put that little disclaimer out there because I want you guys to get the best information possible, and I know that my channel is not the place to do that when it comes to multichromes. But let's go ahead and start swatching. So I took one of them out here, and this is the shade called Aphelion. And like I said, the reason I'm doing it this way and not showing you like up close swatches like I usually do is just because I need to be able to see the names on the back of these and then put them into the palette. So let's see what Aphelion looks like. That is beautiful. This is I see a very strong kind of green to pink shift on that one. Very, very pretty. Well, I really like the iridescent multichromes from Lethal. I think that they are amazing. Some of their black-based multichromes aren't my favorites because they are a little bit just not as intense and smooth as some other formulas that I have. And I think this is actually one of them. So let's go ahead and see what this one is like. So this one is called Exofair. It looks to be a pretty basic like dark blue to purple to pink to kind of gold. Maybe a little bit of blue in there. Okay, so it does look really nice. Let's go ahead and give it a swatch. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm used to with the darker multichromes from Lethal. Like they're very, I know I said they're not smooth. They're very smooth, but almost to the point where they're like kind of satiny, and they don't have that shine and intensity that I have from like my say Cleona shadows and stuff like that. So I'm not the biggest fan of their black-based multichromes, but their more iridescent ones are stunning. Next up, we have the shade here called Magnitude, and from the side, this looks just green, and from the front, it looks red. So let's go ahead and see. This one feels like it's going to be a little bit more intense than the one that we just swatched. So yeah, see, that one is way more metallic. That one is really nice. Ooh, I really see the shift in that. That is super strong. You probably cannot see it properly on camera because it's literally impossible to show it the way that I'm doing it. Like I said, just go to Millie. But this is a beautiful shadow. Just trust me on that one. That is probably the nicest black-based multichrome that I have from Lethal so far. That is beautiful. That would probably actually go quite nicely with some of those brown mattes too, but let's see what the other three are like. I haven't really decided what it is that I want to do yet. Next up is another iridescent one, and this one is called Antimatter. This one looks so pretty. Let's see, this is, what even is this? I don't know. I'm gonna swatch it and then we'll see. That is not as intense as the first one. This one feels a little bit more dry, but I do think as like in a corner shade or something like that, it's gonna look really nice. Very strong pink shift. I'm seeing a little bit of gold on the side, maybe a little bit of green. Very, very pretty as well. But again, these two are quite different formulas. The top one here is definitely more intense, but I feel like this one is maybe a little bit more opaque than this one. Kind of just depends what you're going for. I think the next one here is the one that I'm the most excited about. Just looking at it in the sleeve, it looks incredible. And this is the shade called Parsec. I don't know what that means, but oh my god, the shift in this looks so pretty. Let's go ahead and swatch that one. Oh yeah, that is really nice. That is so metallic and so smooth. This is a very pink based shadow with a strong kind of blue and gold shift to it. That looks so pretty. And I see a little bit of peach as well. It's kind of hard to explain because like obviously these are multichromes, so there's going to be like multiple colors in them, which is why they're called multichromes, like duh, Annette. Let's see, the last one here looks to be some sort of a blue shade. This also looks beautiful, looks to have a purple shift. This one is called Singularity. This one feels really, really good. I love the texture of that. It just feels really nice and smooth. So this is a purple base with a kind of turquoise and gold shift to it. Very, very pretty as well. I think we're gonna be able to get a very pretty look out of this. I am really drawn to like the shade that I just swatched though. Maybe I can use these three on my lid and then this in the inner corner, and we'll skip the sort of blue toned shades for another time. I almost just dropped the shadow. Whew, okay, let's go ahead and do the blushes as well so I can put those into my palette, or into their sleeves I should say, because they did send me two of these. These are just magnetic little compacts that you can put their face products in, which is really, really nice. You can't buy the shadows as a bundle, or you can buy them individually. If you buy a bundle, you will get a discount. I also do have a code with Lethal. It's just Annette, I think, and it will save you 10% off. Not affiliated, but it will definitely help you save some money. So let's go ahead and swatch this blush. This one is called Florette. That is really, really pretty. Such a beautiful, ooh, very, very pretty. Feels like it's gonna be very pigmented. Orange blush. I wouldn't say it's like super shiny by any means. I wouldn't call this a glowy blush. Like, it definitely feels very dry, but we'll see what it looks like on the face, because I think I do want to try to use both of them. And I feel like whatever, like those speckles on top were just like an overspray. I don't know if I would call this a glowy blush, but like I said, we'll see what it looks like on the face. So the next one here might be a little bit too dark for me, but I just thought the color was really beautiful, so we're gonna try to make it work. This is a shade called Adorned. So let me go ahead and kind of swirl everything together here. This one looks to be a little bit more intact when it comes to like the pattern on it, but oh, that's really pretty. So they definitely swatch a little sheer, which is good because they are blushes. This is a stunning color story. Again, I wouldn't really call it like a glowy blush, but we'll see. I think we're gonna start with the blushes just to see what they're like, I guess. But here are some close-ups of the swatches just before I wipe them off so you can see what they look like. Again, you're not going to be able to see the shift properly in this lighting. Just go to Millie's channel. I will of course have her linked like I said, but they are looking really, really pretty. I'm going to start with this one. We're going to do a little bit of blush draping. We're going to see how it looks. It picks up a lot. Like Lethal's blushes are quite powdery, so you might want to be a little bit careful. I'm just going to start that like in the upper portion right here and start blending that out. Like you can see, very, very, very pigmented, which I don't mind a pigmented blush, so not really a problem. I'm just going to take my time here and really blend this out, and then we can do the orange shade sort of a little bit lower down here, but this is just blending out to a beautiful sort of cranberry pink shade. That's very pretty. It's gonna be a lot for people who don't like blush. If you're of my skin tone, if you're of a darker skin tone, this is probably going to be an amazing, more like everyday blush for you, but it's definitely out there for me. But hey, I was expecting that when I bought it because it's a very dark color, and I don't, like I said, I don't mind that. So just gonna leave that like here. That is really pretty. I do really like that. I know it's a lot, like I said. For some people it might be too much, but I don't care. And I am making it a point now to use synthetic brushes, because if I were to use natural hair brushes with these, it would get a little bit out of hand, because like I said, these are very intense. I'm gonna take the orange here just on the lower portion. I'm going in very, very, very light-handed with these, because like I said, they're very pigmented. So if you don't like pigmented blushes, don't get these. But the colors are really, really nice. Again, I'm not sure if I would say that these are necessarily like glowy. I feel like the orange one is probably a little more glowy on the face than the sort of more cranberry one. Like, yeah, you can definitely see a bit of a sheen in this. I am going to tone this down a bit, don't worry. But I just want to make sure I get a nice blend between the two before I do so. Just gonna do a little bit on my nose as well. Don't want too much, but I do want this to look nice and orange, because I just think that that is really cute. So I'm gonna go over this with my powder brush. Can never say those two words in the same sentence, because it is literally impossible. And if you haven't tried it, try it and report back, because try making that a right sentence 5 times in a row. I bet you're gonna fail, but that looks really nice. These are actually blending together beautifully, and I don't think it's too much. I mean, again, some people would say it's too much, but I think that looks really pretty. I think that I'm gonna use probably one of the eyeshadows as my highlighter, but I do want to do my eye look before we do that. So I'm gonna start by priming, if I can find my eyeshadow primer. That is probably under all of the mess that I just made. And it is. Shocking, right? Just gonna go ahead and use my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, and then I'm just gonna put some of these Urban Decay mattes in my crease and see what they're like. Like, there's no reason for me to test out these shimmers in that palette, because I know I'm not gonna like them, and that is just a color preference thing and a formula preference thing. I don't mind neutral mattes, but neutral shimmers, especially if they're not like multi-chromes or anything special, is just not my thing, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be for everybody, and I'm sure that palette is like the perfect everyday neutral palette for a lot of people. And maybe I shouldn't have opted in on this release from Urban Decay, but it's always fun when you get emails from Urban Decay. Like, how often can you say you get PR from Urban Decay? Like, come on. Like, that still kind of just blows my mind that I'm even eligible to be on their PR list. Like, me? Come on. So I just couldn't say no, even though I had a feeling that maybe it would be a product that I didn't like, but it doesn't mean I can't test out the quality for you guys. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush here. I'm going to dip into this shade, which is the one called Sly. I'm going to use that as my transition shade, and then I'm going to deepen it up with the darker shade, and we're just going to see how these perform. This is actually looking darker on the eye than it is in the pan, which makes me happy, because I was worried that this was going to be like a very, very neutral and just barely there kind of look, but it's actually a really, really nice color. The shadows are very powdery. I'm surprised by how much kick up there is in the pan, because I wasn't expecting that. It's been a while since I've used Urban Decay eyeshadows, and I don't remember them being this powdery, but doesn't matter as long as they blend and they apply nicely. I don't really care if there's kick up in the pan, as long as the fallout doesn't get on my face, which it doesn't seem to. This is a very, very smooth and very basic like transition shade that I think a lot of people are going to love. I do feel like it is kind of just mixing in with my skin tone and almost disappearing. Like, I feel like it looked a lot darker on my eye when I first put it on, but like I said, it's almost like it's just melted into my skin, which I guess for some people would be a good thing, but I'm like, where is it? Like, where'd it go? It's kind of just not there anymore, but Again, it's fine. I'm gonna go into the darker shade here, and we're gonna use that to deepen this look up with. So this is the shade called Funky Town. I do hope that this is going to be as dark as I want it to be here, and I think it will be dark enough that I don't need to go in and deepen this up any further. I'm just gonna put that in the outer corner of my eye here to start with, and then I will take it through my crease a bit as well and just deepen up everything. I mean, I will admit, I do think that these are very pretty, like everyday shades for a lot of people, and I can see why some people would be drawn to this. If you don't like to think about your makeup, if you just want your makeup to be very quick and you just want to know that the quality is going to be good and the look is going to end up looking good, and you like doing the same look all the time, then I think you're going to really like this, because these are very reliable mattes, it seems like, and they're performing very well, and they just look very flattering. And like I said, I get it, but this isn't really I don't do makeup to make myself look better necessarily. I do makeup because I think it's fun, and because I like to express myself, and because I like to be creative, and this just doesn't feel very creative for me. But again, I know that I'm probably in the minority, and that is not this, like, my makeup style is not how most people use makeup, and that's totally okay. And I think that, like I said, if you're someone who just wants something quick and easy and reliable, I think that you would probably really like this. I think that will do. So next we're gonna go in with the multi-chromes, which is obviously way more exciting. I am going to use some glitter primer though, because I like using a glitter primer with every shimmer that I use, unless I have a reason not to. And usually that reason is just me being lazy, but today is not one of those days where I'm lazy, because I am gonna put on some glitter primer. So I'm just gonna pop that all over my lid here where I want my shimmers to go, which is basically everywhere. I do want to really show off like the shift in these if I'm able to, and I find that the bigger area you put them on, the better they're going to show the shift, because your eye is curved, and that's what's gonna help really show the colors off. So let's see. Like I said, I do think I want to use probably this one and this one on my lid. So I'm gonna start with this shade here, which, like I said, I don't know the name of this anymore, so I can't really tell you. So I'm not sure how this is going to work together with that more pinky shade, because this has a very strong green shift to it, and I'm just curious to see. That does look really pretty though. I'm just putting that in the outer corner of my eye. Like, if you really, really want to show off the shift in multi-chrome shadows, I would say put them over a black base, but we're obviously not doing that right now, because I do not know when my camera just shut off, but we're gonna go in with this shade here. I also don't know the name of this one anymore because my memory is not that good. So I'm gonna just put that in the front portion of my lid pretty much. Okay, so that looks, wow, that looks so much greener on the eye. Like, I was expecting this eye look to be sort of like pinky, I don't even know, but this, like, depending on the angle, it's so weird. When I look straight ahead, it looks red and sort of yellowy green, but when I look at it like sort of from underneath, that one looks very green and not red at all, and this one looks sort of green and not pink at all. So I'm just gonna blend these two colors together here. You can definitely see the difference in the formula on the eyes. Like, this one is more sparkly and it has a little bit more texture to it, whereas the other multi-chromes on the outer end is more of a like a smooth, not satin, but just a smooth metallic shade, but they're working very nicely together. I do really like those two. This is just not at all what I was expecting. It's so strange with multi-chromes. Like, sometimes you'll see it in the pan and you think you know what it's going to look like on the eyes, and then it looks completely different. And this is gonna look different in different lightings too. Like, if I'm outside, I'm probably gonna look at a different color than I am if I'm in my kind of bathroom lighting. Like, it just depends, like, where the light kind of hits it. I'm just gonna blend these two colors together, but these look really nice. I really like that. It's quite neutral, but I think that the multi-chromes make them exciting enough. I think while I have the palette here, I'm gonna use one of these as my highlighter as well. So I'm gonna take this shade here, which was the sort of more dry pinky shade, and I'm picking that up on a natural hair brush. This is a Rephr, it's a prototype, it's the 09. I don't think they have this anymore, but I'm gonna try to use that as my highlighter. Yep, that is beautiful. I love using iridescent eyeshadows as my highlighters. Like, I do that so often because they are just so beautiful on the face, and you can just get so many different colors in eyeshadows than you can in highlighters, and it's honestly cheaper to just buy an eyeshadow and use that as a highlighter. You're of course not going to get as much product in there, but depending on, you know, how often you're going to use it, it's still tough to go through an eyeshadow as a highlighter. Like for me anyway, because I have a very large collection of highlighters, and so I like to rotate them, and I would never go through a highlighter or even an eyeshadow that I use as a highlighter because I just like to switch it up all the time. But look how pretty that is. Like that is like a perfect highlighter if you ask me. I really like that. Let me just put on one of these lip glosses as well, because I feel like now this is probably going to look a little bit better. I'm going to use the pink one. I don't know if what I have on underneath is going to really go with this, but this is the shade called Thick with 2 C's. Let's see, do these smell good like Ofra products normally do? Can't put my finger on what that smells like. It's not a very sweet scent, but it smells a little bit on the minty side, which worries me because I don't like plumping lip glosses, but let's go ahead and try it. I do like Ofra's lip gloss formula though, so these feel really nice. It does look really nice on the lips, and I don't feel like it broke up my lipstick underneath at all. Very pretty color. It's not very like colored. It's definitely way sheerer, and this color doesn't look like this on the lips because of just what I have underneath. It just gives a very subtle kind of pink glow to the lips, and I like that. I'm not feeling any kind of tingling or anything like that, so that's good because I don't really like plumping lip glosses. So I'm gonna keep this on while I finish off my eyes, and then we can see if I've started to feel anything after that. Just putting a little bit of that shade that I use as my highlighter in my inner corner as well, just to tie everything together. But I think this turned out really, really pretty. Like I said, it's quite neutral, but I think that the multichromes are like totally the star of the show in this look, and it looks very beautiful. Now, I will say, the lip plumper, the longer I wear this, the more it freaking hurts, and I hate it. My lips do look really good though, but I don't like the feeling of like something stinging my lips. Like this is pretty intense for me at least, and I never used lip plumpers, so I don't know how this would compare to like other ones, but I don't like it. If you don't like a plumping lip gloss, don't get these plumping lip glosses, which why would you get a plumping lip gloss if you don't like them? Which would be like, why am I trying one if I don't? You know what I'm trying to say. Like, this is stupid. I shouldn't be trying this, but here I am because I'm curious and I couldn't help myself. But that's basically the look done. And let's talk about these shadows though, because I really like everything. I even like this little palette. I mean, I think the quality is nice. Color story is boring as hell, and it's not something that I'm going to be reaching for on like a daily basis, but maybe if I need like some mattes in my crease, I mean, these do look really, really nice. They were super easy to work with, very quick to use. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. The shadows from Lethal are really nice. Like, look how beautiful these are on my eyes. Like, that looks so nice. And I like the fact that they've come out with like little 6-pan palettes, so now you can build your own little 6-pan palette if you so please, and you can put in all multichromes. You can do one multichrome, you can do mattes, you can do whatever you want. They have an amazing palette builder on their website. Definitely check it out, because I think that just adding like 1 or 2 multichromes into a palette is the way to go. You don't have to buy like everything. You don't have to buy all the multichromes. Like, I feel like this is smart for them to come out with and to send out to influencers, because then we can show you like the best ones and we can help you decide what you want to buy so that you don't have to buy everything. Because I don't feel like you don't need like 50 multichromes or 100 multichromes. Like, people on YouTube, yeah, sure, like we can review them and do stuff like that, but if you're a normal consumer, multichromes are expensive. You don't need that many because you want to get use out of them. So I think that they are beautiful, and I think that if you picked up any of them, you'd probably really like them. I think the blushes are beautiful as well. They are a little bit hard to work with just because of how pigmented they are. So like I said, if you don't like pigmented blushes, definitely don't get these colors, but they do have lighter colors as well. And I really do like some of the other shades that I have from Lethal because they have a really nice formula. And I have a bunch of shades from them in here. I really like this pink shade. I really like this one. I really like this yellow as well. Like I said, they have a ton of different shades, so you definitely don't have to go for the more pigmented or like darker ones, but they have shades for any skin tone. And I don't know. I don't know if I would say that these are glowy. Now, I did put the highlighter basically everywhere because I think it looks beautiful as a highlighter. But I don't know if I would say that these blushes are glowy. Let me just check that on their website. These should be available now. I'm pretty sure that they said that these were glowy blushes. It does say shimmery orange blush with gold pearl. Like I said, not sure if I agree with that, but if you want a blush that's not super matte, but definitely not on like the glowy side, I think you would really like these. Personally, I don't like something that's too glowy because I do have oily skin, and then, you know, once my makeup starts wearing, it usually ends up looking a little bit glowier at the end of the day anyway. So for me, this is perfect. I think these are beautiful. Let me know if you picked anything up from this collection. Let me know if you're interested in anything. Did you pick up the Naked palette from Urban Decay? Let me know. I would love to know if you are this person. Let me know, because I respect that, but I just think it's funny. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you want to see some more Lethal Cosmetics content, I'll put my playlist up on the screen. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.